Hey folks, I'm Mark Ryan from Super Review.
Hey guys, this is Andrew. Thanks to WhatsNew for including me in this video.
Hey, what's Newtonians?
Hey guys, this is Kevin from DHRME.
My name is Ted from Super Chonk.
When I'm on the go or usually at work,
What I do like to use on a daily basis.
Welcome back everyone. It's that time of the year. It's the end of the year. It's 2023 and it's been quite an incredible year. Lots of things happening, and as is tradition on YouTube, we've got to do something a little different at the end of the year. A little fun, a little over the top. Last year was over the top, where I literally checked out a whole bunch of Bluetooth IEMs and tested their microphones in a live World Cup stadium while the World Cup was going on. It was nuts. You should go check it out. There's no World Cup this year, but instead I decided to reach out to some fellow YouTubers and put this thing together. Now, they're mostly audio and tech reviewers, and these are people I listen to when I want to find out about a product. These are people I listen to because I just like listening to them. And usually I end up learning something. And I reached out and asked them 3 questions. Question number 1 is, what do you listen to music on when you're on the go? This could be headphones, IEMs, DAPs, whatever. Question number 2 is, what is your favorite audio product of the year? And finally, number 3 is one non-audio thing that has captured your attention this year. And this could be anything. It could be part of your everyday carry, it could be tech, it could be a mouse pad, it could be a wallet. Doesn't matter. Favorite thing that has captured your attention this year. Here they are in no particular order. The first one is a relatively new entrance. It's a newer channel that you may not have heard of just yet, but you might in the very near future.
Thanks for having me on the show. My name is Ted from Super Chonk, and I'd like to share with you guys some of the interesting things that I like to use on the go. So firstly, that would be the Colorfly CDA M1. I know there's a new M1P going around, but I haven't got my hands on that yet. So the M1 serves me quite well. It is quite an affordable little dongle that I use when I want to listen to music casually, and paired with it is whatever earphones that I am actually reviewing at that point of time. Because for me, most of my listening would be either at night or on my way to work. So the M1P and whatever earphone that I listen to at that point of time are my things that I use to go. But when I want to listen to music very, very seriously, my choice of gear is actually quite different. I really like the Lotu Pogo Touch Titanium. Basically, this is a very high resolution player that can extract a lot of those fine little details and emotions from the music. And what I pair with the Pogo Touch Titanium would either be the Dita Perpetua or really nice IEM such as the SimGod EA1000. And next, the question on what is my audio product for the year. I think in my channel I did have a list of top hi-fi earphones this year, and the one that won it was the SimGod EA1000. I absolutely adore that earphone simply because it really provides something different. The passive radiator there adds a layer of resonance to bass that it's really not very common in IEMs all that much, if I'm being honest. So it really delivers in terms of detail, and the bass rendering is quite special. So next up, on non-audio things, one thing that was really special to me was the Wotan Craft Pilot 7-liter bag. I always have a problem with bags because they are either too big or they are either too small. I managed to find one that is modular and let me make the size a little bit bigger. So I was actually in Taipei a few weeks ago, and I actually went to the Wotan Craft store. So I learned about their products a bit more there and eventually got myself a 7-liter pilot bag. Now, what is inside my bag? It's my usual cameras, but sometimes, with camera bags, it can be a bit too big. You don't want to bring that around all the time. So the bag is actually a perfect size. So I actually added 2 more pouches to it, and that is where I keep all my IEMs. So it's a very, very good solution if you are the type of person such as like myself who likes to do photography and listen to music at the same time. That really suits my purpose. So yes, that is my non-audiophile item for the year of 2023. Thanks so much for the invite. Hope to see you guys soon.
Now, our next guest is someone I owe a little bit of gratitude to, simply because he helped me set up my Squiglink, the database where I maintain my active noise cancelling measurements. And he did that, I think, while he was down with COVID. Don't ask me how. This man does more things at the same time than I think anyone I know. In fact, I think he made this video while he was renovating his house. I don't know how he does it. All I know is he's kind of super.
Hey folks, I'm Mark Ryan from Super Review, and 2023 is coming to an end, so now I've got to answer these questions. Question number one, what did I listen to the most while on the go? You're not going to like this answer, but it's still these. It's bone conduction headphones, and I'm not joking. These things sound awful, well, at least by the standards of most of the things I review, but when I'm listening to podcasts, I don't really care what they sound like. And when I'm on the go, I actually don't listen to music. So this is probably an unsatisfactory answer, but when I'm outside the house, this is what I'm listening on, and it's usually a podcast. When I am listening to music, and let's say I'm not quite on the go in like terms of being outside, but maybe like on vacation or something like that, or honestly just walking around the house, most of the time, 99% of my listening is on my favorite product of the year, which is this guy. This is the Hibby R5 Gen 2. This is not a new product. This came out last year. And of all the DAPs that I have, this is the one that I use the most. And the reason I use it is one, because it's blue and it looks cool. But two is because the battery life on this thing is just phenomenal. This is an Android-based player, and I still only have to charge it at max every 3 days, and sometimes even more. Or even more days in between. The point I was making is that it's got really, really good battery life. And because of that, I love this little player. I can run Power Amp on it. I can sync my music library wirelessly. I love this little thing. And then I guess the last question that I have to answer is, what is a non-audio related product that caught my attention? And you might be noticing a theme here, but it's actually this little guy. So this is the Miu Mini. It's a little portable gaming device. And the theme here is that I actually really love just small electronic devices. It's part of why I still use a DAP in 2023. And it's why I've been in love with this little machine. So now this is like an emulator machine. You might notice I'm playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night over here. This is a save file that's got, 30 hours on it. This is just one game that I've been playing on this machine. I friggin' love this thing, and it's not that expensive. I think you can get them for around $65, and it's kind of dominated my 2023. So yeah, that's been my year. What's been yours?
Next up, we have an audiophile clearly bitten and smitten by the audio bug, and someone who's trying to spread his love of all things audio to audiences both Indian and otherwise. Let's hear it for Paul from Paul's POV.
Hey Abhishek, thank you for writing in and asking me those few questions. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to talk about because I've just got so many earphones and headphones around, I didn't really know what to talk about, but thankfully I have figured it out. So what I do like to use on a daily basis fairly recently, in fact, is the Yamaha TW E7B, and I haven't been able to use this as much as I wanted to because my wife did nick these shortly after I got these for review, maybe about a year back. And what I do really like about them is, forget about the features, forget about how pretty these look, but I just love the way it sounded, because even though these don't do high res, these earphones in particular has an approach towards wanting to give you a truer sound. It's wanting to be a little more audiophile in the way it delivers itself. So I mean, Yamaha doesn't think that, Yamaha doesn't say that, but I do, and I've really liked it. And then moving on to the next question you had about which is my favorite product of the year. Well, it's a kind of a combination of the first and second question that this is the answer to. I've really come to enjoy the SimGot EA1000. These are the SimGot formats, which is an absolutely beautiful looking set of in-ear monitors, and I have combined these with the iFi GoLink DAC amp dongle. So I use this also once in a while when I'm on the move, wherever it's not too noisy, because of course these don't have active noise cancelling, but on an overall audio front, it's, I think, the sweetest sounding IEMs I've heard, because I'm still getting into the IEM game and the IEM world, and it's absolutely beautiful sounding. The EA1000 is definitely my absolute favorite because the one thing that stands out to me is the way it handles timbre. So I usually expect higher end products sitting in a much higher price bracket, especially with headphones that I've got more experience with, to handle timbre the way this does, but this does a beautiful job. So I'd say full points to the EA1000 from SimGot. And then moving on to the third and final question you did ask me, you did want to know what caught my eye, which is not audio related. It took me a while because everything usually that attracts me toward it is audio. But I'd say the one thing that really pulled me towards it was the news that Sony announced about the Sony A9 Mark III. Being a photographer for the past, almost 2 decades, really pulled me towards checking this camera out. Or not that I've got any plans of buying it, but I'd say it's absolutely superb on a spec front at least. So I'd love to get my hands on it just to see what it's all about.
Now, our next YouTuber is a relatively new YouTuber, and you may or may not have seen his channel, but there's a decent chance you know him from the audio forums. Seemingly soft-spoken but armed with a keen enthusiasm for all things audio, all things academic, and all things objective. Still, he always makes sure he gives you the other side of the argument, always making sure that you have context for his opinions. And all done with the brevity and crispness that shows a respect for the viewer's time. This is Jamie from SideSaladAudio.
When I'm on the go or usually at work, I tend to just use a rotation of different IEMs paired with my phone with a FIO BTR 3K. Nowadays I've probably chosen a Quadelix K5 instead of the FIO, but at the time those were hard to get in Canada and they were usually boosted a bit more in price. I usually focus a bit more on budget products, and of that, my favorite audio product this year is probably the Truth Ear Zero Red. Now, I know this IEM had a lot of hype around it, and some were left a little disappointed when it finally released, but I do feel that it did punch well above its price range when it finally came out, and to me, other than its build quality, I think sound-wise it does still stand out, and it still has one of my favorite bass responses that I've heard, especially for only $50. Now, something that isn't really related to audio that caught my attention this year is the Meta Quest 3, actually. It was something that really exceeded my expectations, and I really enjoyed it. Before I was reviewing headphones, I was deeply invested in the VR community, and I owned and reviewed a lot of different headsets from the dev kits throughout the Rift lineup, the Vive lineup, Windows Mixed Reality, the Valve Index, and the entire Quest lineup. But the Quest 3 was the first time that consumer VR feels like a noticeable leap forward in visual fidelity due to the new pancake lenses, and it moves beyond just aiming for high resolution to increase visuals of VR headsets. So the Quest 3 ended up being something that really caught my attention this year, and I really do enjoy.
Now, our next reviewers are, well, they're friends of mine. I'd like to call them friends at least, and they're probably one of my first YouTube friends. You know, it's that time of the year. Depending on where you are, it's probably pretty cold outside, and hey, I don't know, maybe you enjoy watching the odd icicle form on your roof. Maybe you enjoy the odd popsicle now and then, even in this weather. But there are some things in life that absolutely must come in pairs.
Hey, what's Newtonians? So what do I listen to music on the go with? I listen to the Sony WH-1000 XM5. No, I listen to the Focal Batiste because audiophile. No, but very realistically, this is actually my daily carry, and the reason is it's just so comfortable. They're super light, the battery lasts forever, the microphones are amazing, the fit is great, the build is amazing. And I know you asked me about music, but that probably shows I'm not listening to so much music on the go these days. It's mainly podcasts and things of that nature. And actually, I'm trying to wean myself off of headphones so I'm more present in the moment and listening to the wonderful sounds of traffic and other things around me. Favorite audio product of the year is the Shocks Open Fit. I mean the Tozo Open Buds. Yeah, well, it's neither of these. It's more the category of open ear buds. I just did a video on our channel recently talking about my hearing health and things like that. I think this has come at the perfect time for me and a lot of other people, it seems. So open ear buds have really been a revelation. I won't be surprised if Apple has its own open ear buds in a year or two. All the other big boys will also follow. Open ear buds, guys. You guys are sleeping on these. These sound amazing now. They're no longer the junk we used to have 2 or 3 years ago. Go get them. Links in the description. Use WhatsNew links, not our links. What's a non-audio thing that's captured my attention? Well, it's pretty much my phone, my daily driver. It's the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. Yes, I know about the OnePlus Open. Yes, I know about the Google Pixel Fold. I still love this. I love the form factor. People complain about it being too thin. They can't use it as a phone when it's closed. But that's precisely the point for me. The aspect ratio asked to be open now and again so that you can use the full canvas. I love it. Yes, it has that crease. This is the 5th generation and it really shows in their software. It's so much more well refined. It's just a joy to use, and I love the new slim case with the S Pen built in, which means I can edit thumbnails on the go for our YouTube channel. Gooey.
Hey guys, this is Kevin from DHRME, and Abhishek, this is a super cool idea. Probably gonna have to steal this from you for next year. But anyway, the 3 questions you asked me. The first one is, what do I listen to music while I'm on the go? That's a tough question to ask a YouTuber that's into audio products. So if I'm driving or I'm cycling or I'm just walking out and about, then I'm gonna pick the Soundcore AeroFit Pro. For obvious reasons, I'm just really aware of my surroundings with these buds. They're super comfortable. I control them with buttons, which I tend to prefer over touch. If I'm just popping out and I don't know what kind of day I have ahead of me, then I tend to pick the Jabra Elite 10. A little pricey, but I find these to be all-round buds. They're super portable, great battery life, decent for calls, great ANC, and this is by far the best part of this product is they're super comfortable with those oval ear tips. Again, if I'm at home and I'm doing a lot of calls the whole day or I'm at the office, then again, this product keeps changing almost every week. But this week I've been using these, and that's the Bose Quiet Comfort headphones. Not the Ultra, just the ordinary Quiet Comfort headphones, and in this cool green color. I've been loving it so far. Still testing, so the review is still pending. But yeah, all buttons. Always been a fan of Bose for their quietness and the comfortness. Yeah. The second question was, what's your favorite audio product of the year? Hard to pick. I'm going to change that question a little bit if you don't mind. What's my favorite product category of the year? And that has got to go to open ear style buds. I think last year there weren't that many options. This year we've seen so many entrants and it's just amazing. I think this is a product category that's just gonna blow up next year. Like not only the AeroFit Pro by Soundcore, but also this one, Shocks, Open Fit. I love how they've pivoted away from their bone conduction to air conduction buds. And a classic that I've always been a fan of before it became a big thing are the Oladance Open Wearable Stereo. This is generation 2 with multi-point, but I was a big fan of the first one too. That one's been used a bit more roughly than these. So yeah, I think once we see, you know, the big brands like Bose, Sony, even Apple enter this space, I think we're gonna have a lot to look forward to. And your final question was, what's one non-audio thing that has captured your attention this year? So for this one, let me grab them over here. Luckily, you can't smell things over video. I'm very happy about that. Those are my shoes. And these shoes are what we call barefoot shoes. Now, a lot of people think barefoot shoes are those little wiggly toe things. That's just one sort of shoe and brand that made it popular. But there are a lot of others, and these are from Vivo Barefoot, not a sponsor. And the reason I'm into these shoes is, after doing a bit of research, is that they're supposedly good for you. Now, don't pin me on the science here, but because there's no cushioning at the bottom of the shoe, like most shoes have, you really feel the ground that you're walking on. And that supposedly makes you use all of your bones, your ligaments, your tendons, and the muscles within your foot and ankle, and helps strengthen it. And personally, I have seen a big difference, because initially I started jogging a little bit, walking, and then I started running, even did a couple of 10Ks wearing these shoes. And now I play squash as well wearing these shoes. And I've got to say, I've converted about 95% of my shoes to barefoot shoes now. So I'm pretty deep in the ecosystem. So thanks again, Abhishek, for this opportunity, and happy 2024.
Now, our last and final guest is someone you've probably heard from before. You've probably seen his videos, and I know I have, well before I had my own channel. So this is someone who's definitely well respected in the community, and someone I think makes some of the best reviews, because not only does he not give in to the hyperbole, but he also always manages to give the most balanced take possible, while still somehow educating you on some aspect of audio. Legend has it, this dedication to proper unbiased reviews is matched only by his penchant for the color grey.
Hey guys, this is Andrew. Thanks to WhatsNew for including me in this video. Okay, so just like the other folks in this video, I've been asked 3 little questions. Number 1, what do you listen to music on when you're on the go? So this is headphones, IEMs, DAPs, whatever. So what's the on-the-go setup? For me, it's either the AirPods Pro 2. These are great. I own nothing else Apple, these are great, just for the sound signature alone. But for wired products, I use the Qdelix 5K and the Truth Ear Hexa. I like being able to just use my phone and then the flexibility of the EQ that the Qdelix 5K gives me. Question number 2, what is your favorite audio product of the year? Now this is difficult because I'm actually doing a video with our team over on the Headphone Show that's about the product of the year. As of filming this right now, there is a candidate for that I don't have it yet. It's being sent to me, but I can't include it in this video because I don't have it yet. It might change, but as of right now, the audio product of the year is the Odyssey Maxwell. In my mind, there's really nothing else that was as good of a product, you know, the whole package, for the price, for everything that you get with it, for the sound quality, all that stuff, as the Odyssey Maxwell. So that's my product of the year for now. And question number 3, what is one non-audio product that has captured your attention this year? There have been a few, and I'm going to give an honorable mention to the Artisan mouse pad that I use, the Artisan Hayate, the new one, whatever the current version of that is. It's very good. But what's brought me the most joy of ownership has to be the Fujifilm X-S20. Now, I film my videos on Sony, my work stuff is all on Sony, but I used to own Fuji gear way back in the day, and I moved away from that because the autofocus wasn't that great, and you know, for what I'm doing, like this type of content, the Sonys are just better. But then I just recently got that camera as a travel camera, the X-S20, and it reminded me of all the things that I loved about that system, and it's made me enjoy using it again. It's made me enjoy photography and videography and going outside and just taking a camera with me and just doing things. And so for that reason, I'm gonna go with the Fujifilm X-S20. So that's it. On to the next person.
And there you have it, some of the best audio reviewers in the business as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure there are a lot more. Maybe we'll get to them next year. It was a bit short notice, so massive shout out to the people who managed to do it, and massive shout out to the people who couldn't quite manage it but really did try. You know who you are, and you know I appreciate you. Now, given that I've bothered everyone else, it's only fair that I answer these questions myself. So, question number 1, what do you listen to music on when you're on the go? Well, I just use my Galaxy Fold 4. I don't use a DAP. I don't use any DAC amp combos because, well, sometimes I do, but more often than not, I go wireless. It's just a matter of convenience, and some of the best wireless IEMs, I use headphones as well, but IEMs for me have been the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra and the Sony XM4. That's right, not the XM5, which has been collecting dust in my shelf because I am disappointed with that thing. The XM4, which in my opinion is one of the best Bluetooth IEMs in terms of sound quality, in terms of tuning, but also just that driver. It just does things. It's fantastic. I love it. And it's pretty good noise cancelling as well. The Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra has the added advantage of being very comfortable, having a good fun sound signature done reasonably well, and fantastic noise cancelling. Now, it must be said that the only reason I use these two is because I don't take calls very often. Both of them are terrible for microphone quality, but they fit the bill for me. So yeah, that's what I've been using on the go. Question number 2, what is your favorite audio product of the year? Okay, this is an interesting one because I've mostly just catered to IEMs this year and some headphones, but not really DACs and amps. Now, one of my favorite audio products this year has been that little 4C Audio DAC amp that I reviewed earlier. That's cool because you got it for what, $60, $70, and it just allowed you to do more things. That was just a cool thing. But to be honest, my favorite audio product of the year is probably a DAC amp that I got sent in by Shenzhen Audio, shout out to Shenzhen Audio, and never made a review. Just never got around to it. There's just too much to cover. But I have shown it in multiple videos, and it's the XDuo Balance 05. Their names are always so confusing, but this thing is cool because on the one hand it had a whole bunch of functionality, right? So it's got 2 headphone jacks of 2 different sizes. It can do wired as well as wireless audio, so it has LDAC and aptX support too, which is kind of cool. But the cool thing about this is that you can actually open it up and you can change the amplifier chip, thereby changing the sound. So it's like having 2 DAC amps in one, and it's quite a capable product, a noticeable step up in quality from the other DAC and amps I use, because it's also $420, but it's a pretty cool nifty little thing. And finally, question number 3, one non-audio thing that has captured your attention this year. Okay, so one non-audio thing that has captured my attention this year has to be the X-59. It's a prototype airplane by NASA that's meant to bring back supersonic flight, which is kind of nuts, I know, but hear me out. So decades ago, it kills me that we used to fly supersonic multiple times the speed of sound, twice the speed of sound, I think. And now we don't anymore. It's like we've gone backwards. It's very annoying. And for those of you who watch my channel often enough, you know I travel a fair bit for work. And it just, I wish I could get there faster. Also, it's just cool to fly faster than sound. And look, I might have cheated a little because if you think about it, the X-59 is actually an audio product. This might actually answer the second question. This is my favorite audio product this year because here's the thing, supersonic flight's big problem was the sonic boom. There were other problems, but they were not insurmountable. The sonic boom, though, that was a problem because you couldn't fly over land, you had to fly over the sea, which limited your routes, which limited economic viability, and so on. Okay, but more importantly, we had to fly slower. That's the annoying bit. But NASA is actually working on this plane with the specific reason to, on the one hand, reduce the intensity of the sonic boom. So a sonic boom will be around, I think, 120, 130 decibels. It's pretty loud, right? And if you had multiple flights through the day, you could see how that would be annoying for everybody. But they're trying to get that down to a target of around 75 decibels, which is, in their own words, and Cleo Abrams has a video on this. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's a great video. But basically, that's the equivalent of your neighbor slamming their door shut, which is not that big a deal compared to 120 decibels odd. So they're doing that. But also, they're designing the plane in a way that directs whatever low frequency boom there is upwards into the sky rather than downwards onto the ground. And I just think it's really cool that this is effectively an audio product that's trying to control low frequency bursts of energy. That's cool. And if they succeed, and I'm really hoping they do, then we might in the next decade or two start flying supersonic again. How cool is that? Like, how can you not like that? There you have it. I hope this has been an interesting one because it's been fun to put this together. It's really, really nice of these guys to reach out and actually take the time out to make the videos. So please go and subscribe to their channels if you haven't done so already, because there's always value in every one of them. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for a lovely 2023. I'll see you in the next one. Stay happy, stay peaceful, and always stay colorful. Namaste.